Hello and welcome to Butterflies Australia. This is the third part of our three-part series on how to use the app and the website. So for the website, which is what we're going to cover in this talk, you need to go to butterflies.org.au, and if you're wanting to make an account here, you can make an account on the app, but you can also make an account via here instead and then use that account on the app. But regardless of what you want to do in that regard, if you want to make an account or just log in, you need to click on the My Butterflies part of the menu up here. There's also a few other features on this homepage that are worth knowing about. The Submit button still takes you to a login page, but then will take you straight to the Submit a Sighting section of the website. News takes you to the news section, and fact sheets to the fact sheets section. It's also a summary of the latest news on the front page. And down the bottom, there's some information on how to download the app and some acknowledgements of where we got our funding from. So back up to here, if we click on the news section, it takes us to a list of the news that we've published for the website. And similarly, the fact sheets are available for download here. We've only got 2 so far, but this is something we're likely to add to in the future. So if we go back to the home page, as I said, if you want to access your personal section of the website, if you want to get to the data that we have in the system or edit your information that you've recorded personally, you need to go to this My Butterflies section. Now, I've already logged in. When we're done, I'll show you how to log in and how to create an account as the final part of what we're going to do here. When you first log in, it will give you an overview screen at the start, which is this home screen here. And that gives you a list of the number of surveys you've contributed, the number of species that you've recorded, and any surveys that a moderator has commented on, asking for information, further information. If you want to access those surveys to see what the moderators said, you can click on the button on the right here. There's a few buttons along the top here that let you manage that information. You can see if there's more than a handful, you can go through one at a time. And then if we go to My Surveys, this shows you not just surveys that have been commented on, but all of the surveys that you've contributed. You can choose to say, show me more, or even all of those surveys. You see the number showing comes up here. This is a list of all the things that you, as the account that's signed in, have contributed. You can actually search on those. So you can look at just the incidental records, or the incidental records and point counts. Look at the transects, area. So let's go back to point counts. And we can actually open up point count here. So this will give you the information on the survey that you've contributed, show you the map, and you can actually redo the point that you recorded that butterfly at by clicking on the map. You can change the date and the time, etc., add any notes. And if you need to go through and adjust any of the species that you saw, delete photos or add photos, the photos section is here and the species section is here. So you can add, you can edit, or you can delete. So the edit button is this one. And then this is a special button that the moderators have access to that lets you decide whether a species record is valid or not. So coming back here, you can, as well as searching by point count, you can search by the name of the survey, and you can also search by the species. So I can look at, for example, just the surveys that I saw Tawny Costas on. And you don't have to just put in the whole name. You could say, show me all of the species with blue in the name. It'll bring up every survey that has something with the name blue in it. So this is how you access and edit your own surveys. You can also create a new survey. So say you were in Cairns and you wanted to add a new survey. And we were on the Esplanade. We're going to pick a spot. We're going to say we did an incidental count. I'm going to pick today's date. Let the time be now. And it's already got a latitude and longitude because we picked it from the map. And we're going to hit save. That's now been created as a survey. You still need to add your sightings and any photos that you might have. So you can, to add sightings, you can narrow it down by family. You can narrow it down by genus, or you can just select a species. So let's say we saw a Tawny Costa, it should automatically fill those in. And you have to choose a number that you saw. And you can put in any notes that you want and hit save. It'll add that here, and then it's going to go to a moderator for verification. If we want to add a photo, you can click the new button and you'll access the photos on your system to add them. If you have submitted a survey via your phone or via this interface and you decide that you don't want to keep it, you can actually go and you can manually delete it using this delete function. So that survey has now been deleted. The sighting search is not just your own surveys, but everybody's verified surveys. So this doesn't include records that haven't yet been verified or records that have been marked as unverified or unverifiable. But as you can see, we've already got 14,000 verified sightings in the system at this stage, and that number is growing quite rapidly. So there's a number of ways that you can filter those records. You can look at up to 5,000 records at a time. And you can narrow it down by state. You can look at it on a map. So right now this map is about to display the most recent 5,000 records of butterflies for Queensland. You'll see there's a cluster of records around Cairns and around Brisbane. If we remove that search for Queensland from here, then it will show the most recent 5,000 records in total. You can also search based on family, genus, species. You can look at a date range. You can look at a particular month, particular year. And you can even narrow down to things like records from a particular user, records from a particular survey name, or from a particular survey type. Sightings group refers to, you can view just your own sightings. You can look at everybody else's sightings, not including yours, and you can look at all sightings. So to put in an example, let's look at all of the records of Monarch for the whole of Australia. So to begin with, this is all of the records for Australia. Currently there's 324 in our system that have been verified. But we could say, show me just the records from the month of April. We could say, show me all of the records from the month of April this year. Or we could also include 2020. And instead of doing it that way, you could say, show me the last 30 days, or even a custom range where you can set a consecutive period of time that you want records from. And you can delete those fields to fix that view. Once you've got to the point where you've got what you want displayed on the screen, you can actually extract those results as a CSV, a KML for using in Google Earth, or a GPX to load onto your GPS device. And you can give it a file name. You can restrict it to just the map view, so you can change how you're viewing the map to look at just a particular area, and then just download the records that are currently visible on the map. And those data can be used freely under the terms and conditions of the website. So by creating an account, you have agreed to those terms and conditions. Essentially, it's you need to read them, but essentially we're just saying you can't make money from using them without asking us first. Apart from that, we're happy for people to use them for research, conservation, science projects, etc. And if you can't get what you need from this interface, you're more than welcome to contact us and make suggestions about how we could improve it. So finally, we talked a little bit about logging into the website. So this is how you sign out. And this is what the login screen looks like. So you can enter your username and password here. If you've created one via the app, it's the same username and password. If you've forgotten your password or you're having issues, you can always click on this forgot password and it should be emailed to the email address that you registered under. And finally, if you click on register, it takes you to a screen that looks like this. This is just the information that we ask from you to register, a username. And bear in mind, your username will be displayed in the data search that I just showed you. So we suggest you don't use your real name or your email address unless you're comfortable doing so, because everybody who has an account on the system can view that information. Your password, your email address, and the state that you're in, all of these are kept confidential, of course. It's only the username which is publicly available. The state is optional, but it does give the moderators some information that they can use to potentially understand your experience in when they're deciding whether your sightings are verifiable or not. We do suggest strongly that you do at least scan through the terms and conditions, the end user license agreement, and the privacy statement. We've tried to keep them as short and as simple as possible, but this is just the information that we want you to have access to in making an informed decision as to whether you want to make an account on the system. One key point that has come up before with some users: when you submit photos and sightings to us, we do claim joint ownership of those. And that's for the simple reason that we then provide them to the Atlas of Living Australia, which is a government-based system for recording sightings of animals, plants, and everything else. It's an amazing project. As you can see, they've already got 95 million sightings of species around Australia. And we're quite proud to have our data hosted on the ALA. But because we provide our data to them, and because anybody can sign in and download our data, it does mean that you do need to allow us to do so. And the only way that we can legally do that is if you give us joint ownership of the photos and of the sightings. So thank you for your time. And I hope that we will see you on the website, downloading the app and submitting data.